berries and hydrating fruit. Hydrating fruit would be things like watermelon, for example. Now, I know a lot of you guys are like, well, fruit, that's going to have a lot of sugar in it. And yes, fruit does have sugar in it. And we're not supposed to, we really don't want to consume high amounts of fruit. However, what's interesting about berries and hydrating fruits in general is they have a really powerful form of water inside of them. We call it structured water. That structured water enhances the hydration of the cells about 10 times better than just drinking water on our own, right? So if we go and we drink filtered water, that's a good thing. There's a lot of benefits to that. But only, we really don't get tremendous amount of cellular hydration from that. We're actually going to get better cellular hydration from consuming hydrating rich fruits and vegetables. There's certain vegetables like cucumbers, celery, that are rich also in hydrating fluids. And that's one of the best benefits of fruit. Of course, we also know that fruit can contain vitamin C, potassium, magnesium, right? A lot of these key compounds, electrolytes, antioxidants in them, like watermelon, for example, very rich in vitamin C. Pineapple is very rich in proteolytic enzymes that help bring down inflammation in the body. It's also a very good hydrating fruit. And then berries are very rich in compounds that enhance the diversity of our microbiome. For example, that we have things like anthocyanins that we find in blueberries. Anthocyanins protect the blueberries from UV radiation. They also protect us, they buffer oxidative stress in our system. So if we're being exposed to radiation, too much sun, things like that, they're gonna help buffer that in our system and help us deal with the free radicals. On top of that, the anthocyanins, and there's also other compounds like stilbenes in those berries, they also protect against pathogens, right? Bacteria, parasites, different microorganisms, they want to consume the berry, right? They want the fruit, they want the sugar and the nutrients in the berry. So they're trying to eat it. These compounds are like a natural, pesticide in a sense, natural herbicide. And so inside of our gut, they actually preferentially favor the development of a healthy microbiome, healthy gut bacteria, and they help to reduce unhealthy bacteria, unhealthy microorganisms in our system. There's compounds like, for example, ellagic acid, which is very rich in pomegranate or really any astringent fruit. Astringent is like the kind of dry sort of bitterness that we'll taste when we consume certain fruits. If you ever had pomegranate, you know what I mean. It's also, we'll find it in things like muscadine grapes, cranberries. If you have a cranberry, it's sour, it's astringent, it almost feels drying, right? That's that astringent flavor. The main compound involved with that astringency is called ellagic acid. Ellagic acid, our gut microbiome will break that down and produce something called urolithins. Those urolithins will actually increase the mitochondria within our intestinal cells, right? So in our small intestine, for example, we only have one cell wall that's literally protecting the gut from the bloodstream. We want to keep that cell wall as strong as possible, as resilient as possible. The more mitochondria in that cell wall, the more resiliency we're going to have there, the less chance we're going to have leaky gut. And leaky gut is a precursor to chronic inflammation in our body. So ellagic acid is one of the most powerful compounds that we can be consuming to help protect and create more resiliency in that gut lining. We get that in those astringent fruits. So I'm a big fan of getting berries, hydrating fruits. Certainly there's some of these fruits that are hybridized to be a lot more sweeter. Like, for example, a lot of the red apples out there are a lot sweeter than the apples that our ancestors consumed. If you ever find an apple tree just growing in nature, most of the time it's like crab apples, right? It's very, very drying. You get a lot of the astringent flavor. It's the green apples, the Granny Smith type apples that are much more drying, and they have that astringent property to it. That's quercetin. They're very rich in quercetin, which is another powerful anti-inflammatory compound, as well as things like ellagic acid. So berries, hydrating fruit, the sweeter the fruit tastes, the less you want to consume, but the more active your body is, like if you're exercising, if you're staying active like I teach, the more of that you have tolerance for, because your body's going to be able to buffer that blood sugar, and you're going to need more of those hydrating elements, that structured water in your system. So berries, hydrating fruit.